Top 5 mistakes in real estate investing when you're buying rentals. Number one, I should probably put my hat on. But number one, I would say, is literally not even doing it at all. So, thinking about doing it, talking about doing it, and never doing it. So, don't be a spreadsheet ninja. Don't be one of those people that studies and studies and studies and beats it to death. Just do it. Get the first one out the way, and then the rest of them are going to be way easier. Probably the next would be overpaying for a property because of emotion or because you think that the area is going to keep going up or everyone's got their different investment styles. You can do that if that's what you're going for. I don't think it's a very good way of investing. I think you should always buy off of cash flow and not off of, oh, this place is so cute, I love it, this and that. So that's the second. The third is really buying in areas. Again, it kind of connects with the second, but buying in areas that you're not familiar with just because something looks like a good deal. If something looks like a good deal, there's either something wrong with the house or there's something wrong with the area. There's something there, right? If everything's selling for like everywhere around that area, let's say a city or two over for like 100 to 150, and you're getting this place for like 30, there's probably something up, right? So make sure you know the area well, make sure you know what your tenant quality is or your tenant base and the demand in that area for rentals, right? The fourth, I would say, is if you're purchasing a rental that's already a rental off another investor, is be careful with the inherited tenants from the sellers, right? Some people, they don't run their businesses, they don't run their rentals as a business. They run it as a, I don't even know, hobby, or I don't even know what they run it as, but it's not a business, right? The tenants pay rent whenever, they pay in cash, they do all these things that, to me, it's hard to scale. It's hard to, right? So just make sure you ask those questions if you're buying a rental from someone that's an investor and it's already rented. Ask about when rent comes in, ask about how they pay rent, ask about all those things. And also ask them how they screened a tenant, right? The last place I bought, it came with tenants. The last 2 places I bought came with tenants. And the owners I purchased them from was able to show me, here's the credit check I did, here's the background check I did, here's, all the checks I did on these tenants to make sure they're good tenants, right? Because the last thing you want to do is buy your first property, mostly if it's your first one, right? If it's your 10th or 20th, whatever. But if it's your first property and you buy it and you have a terrible tenant, you're going to hate real estate and it's going to put a sour taste in your mouth. So you want to make sure that first one you do is, it works out well. Mostly if you're buying it with a tenant. And I guess with this, it goes kind of hand in hand. When you are placing tenants in your properties, make sure you screen them correctly, right? And then I guess number 5 would be when you're using a contractor, when you're using a property manager, when you're hiring people to work on the property or do something for the property, right? Let's take property managers, for example. People think that you're going to buy this rental, throw a property manager at it, and just let it ride, right? Ideally, in the ideal world, that's what it would be like, but most of the time it's not. So you pretty much take your time away from managing the property per se to managing the property manager, right? Which should be much easier than managing the property itself. But that's kind of like the thing. Just know that as you grow, as you scale, you go from managing one property to maybe you get to 10 to then managing a property manager, right? And what does that mean? That means making sure that when they list a house for rent, that it gets rented up quickly, right? Like when you tenant leaves, the next tenant is already there before the, there's no like months of tenant turnover, right? And that has to do with like rental rate and the preparation of the property and all this other stuff. But so those are, I think they're five. I think I counted five. I might have thought that's six, but those I think are like the top five mistakes in real estate investing. Mostly like on the rental side. I'm sure there's more. I'll probably think of like 10 more after I do this, but I hope this helps and I hope you have a great night.